Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program is brought to you by Tennova Healthcare. Folks, next month is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Did you know that 1 in about 6 or 7 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer at some point in their lives? More common in men than breast cancer is in women, but it's beatable. If you've been diagnosed with prostate cancer, do what I did. Trust Tennova Healthcare. Tennova saved my life. Tennova saved my father's life. Same disease. Tennova.com. I can't say anything more wonderful about them. Tennova. All right. Guys, as a group, earlier in the summer, we set our bar, we all agreed 7.5 was kind of the over-under. Well, between 7 and 8 wins. Now that's rising all around town. It's gone to 8 or 9 wins. Some people are now, it's 9 or 10 wins is out there. I'm a little surprised that the expectations continue to go up, and it just seems to me like the injury to Marcus Jackson has kind of flown under the radar a little bit. To me, you've got your shakiest position on the team, offensive line, and you've removed the guy with the most starts. That's a concern. I want to show you something. Take a look at this list, all right? On Bob's side over there, that's kind of what your starting line was probably going to look like when you started fall camp. Jackson in red, he's now out, but you had Curbison, Jackson, Crowder, Robertson, Kendrick were probably going to be the veterans that would at least start the season. And then you'd see some of these other guys. Over on the other side of the board, now Butch Jones is saying, I want to find my top 7 guys. All right, well, you got 4 on Bob's side that are probably going to be in that top 7. Then you've got to find 3 others on this other side. My question is, when you look down that list, a lot of those guys you saw last year, does this look like a line that's going to win 9 games for you this year? If the expectations have now gone to 8 or 9 or 9 or 10, thoughts on this line? Can they get you to 9 wins?
Can they get you 9 wins? Certainly
okay,
they can.
I phrased that purposely.
I would not expect them to get you to 9 wins unless you've had this dramatic offseason improvement. And now, with Jackson out, you know, you're probably going to be playing, and then, Wiseman's going to step in for him at guard.
It depends on
who. Or all of a sudden now you're starting to turn to your freshman.
Yeah, and at what point does Drew Richmond earn a spot and real legitimate playing time?
You know, so I think that offensive line is the biggest thing holding me back from saying that Tennessee's going to compete for the East title.
And the one thing I wouldn't want to be talking about, John, is an injury bug at that position where you've lost a really good player apparently for the season. You don't want to have 1 or 2 more guys go. You saw what happened last year with Matt Crowder. You don't want to have that start happening, and we've seen how easy offensive linemen can get rolled up. We've seen how easy you can have injuries at that position. So to me, that's the key there.
Well, Jack Jones got rolled up this week and was kept out last night because of it.
Right.
Now they've seen some good things out of Jones. They've seen some good things out of Chance Hall. Drew Richmond, you know, comes in with all the talent in the world. It's just a matter of getting him ready and on the field. But, guys, this offensive line, the expectations continue to rise. This is keeping me from raising the expectations. Is that legitimate, or you guys raise your expectations a little bit overall? You guys 8 or 9, 7 or 8 still?
From when?
Well, we talked on the show a few months ago, and we said 7 or 8. Okay, we said 7 or 8 a few months ago on the show.
I think 8 or 9.
Okay. How do you?
And it hasn't changed.
Okay. With that.
Now, why has it not changed? Look, Jackson, I think, can be a blow, but I did not project Tennessee to be better because I think the offensive line has taken a leap. I think they're going to be about the same as they were last year. The reason I think that Tennessee can get to 8 or 9 is when you looked at the second half of last season when they put a zone read quarterback in to run that scheme. They ran the ball a whole lot better than they did with Dobbs and they did Worley. I still think they'll be a good running team without Jackson. And I still think they can get to 8 or 9, but I certainly would not raise my expectations with Jackson out.
Yeah,
I'm kind of at 8 wins, and Jackson doesn't change that.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that you listen around town. I get a lot of people saying, you know, this team could win 9 or 10 games. I'm just still not seeing that, especially when I look at an offensive line that Jackson's out. And I just haven't had many people mention to me as, oh, that's a huge blow. It's almost like, yeah, he's hurt. So
you know,
it's the expectations are rising so much that it's like it doesn't matter what happens, they're still going to be.
I might have been at 8 or 9 if it wasn't for the Missouri Vanderbilt games last year, because you had in the option quarterback and you had defenses that were able to shut your offense down. So
a Vanderbilt defense that couldn't stop anybody else all
year. So that's the reason I still worry about this offensive line, and I still worry about the offense as a whole. Is after Dobbs came in, obviously you got better, you got much better. but you still had at the end of the season 2 games where your offense didn't look all that good.
Yeah, Vanderbilt game, you also had North was out, 2 of your running backs were down.
Hurd was hurt.
Yeah, you had some injuries there that I think.
And also
and
read
Derek
some-
Mason called the defensive
I was going to
signals,
say
right?
that. I read this week, Derek Mason took over calling the defensive signals that game. I didn't know that. So.
I didn't either.
Yeah, he claimed that one last year after the game. It's like, why haven't you been doing that all year, Coach? All right. I'm sure Vanderbilt fans are wondering what happened
We're
there.
not giving Vanderbilt enough credit because they got all those returning starters.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. And when we come back, for those talking 9 games, we're going to look at the schedule. Where are the 9 wins for Tennessee? Are there 9 wins? We'll discuss. Come on back on the Sports Source.